Erlend Ukvitne, what an absolute honor to have you in Paragliding Atlas, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Erlend, I want to start with a question about your body fat percentage because you look super ripped, man. How fit are you?
Yeah, I think my body fat has gone down drastically when training for this, and also during the X-Alps, I saw some pictures, or I saw myself in the mirror after it, and I was shocked. Like, I'm so thin now, but it's just been a lot of training and just that yeah makes for a body like this, I guess.
Definitely, I think it shows on your face. But like, what you were pretty active even before the XL. So what's your background? How did you get so active in life?
Well, I never done any sports like big time. I did some football and volleyball when I was younger, some what you call it, track and field and stuff, but never really on a high level. That's like I always enjoyed hiking in the mountains. Yeah, that's what I really love, and that's actually how I got into paragliding also, because I was hiking a lot in mountains, and a friend of mine from here, he started paragliding, and then I talked to him about it and thought, this is a great opportunity to like combine hiking and flying. And I thought, if I don't have to walk down again, it's just really big bonus. So after I talked to him, I then applied for a course, and like 2 months later I was in the course. That's that's how I started.
Oh, beautiful. How long have you been flying for and how many lifetime hours do you have, if you don't mind?
I started my course in 2018. I did it in Trondheim, where the weather is really bad, so it took half a year to finish the course, actually. But in 2019, I got my license, and I'm not really sure about the hours. I don't fly that much, really, like 100 hours a year the last few years, actually. So it's not really a lot. So I guess maybe 500 hours in total or something.
This is like almost the same as me, but what I'm wondering is like for people who do not get a lot of hours, because we see a lot of professionals clocking 500 every year, or somewhere in that range. So for people who do not get a lot of airtime in their lives, be the weather or be it financial, be whatever the reason, how did you have the mindset of reaching the pinnacle of the sport? Like what was in your head? Where did you put in the effort to become better as a paraglider all these years?
Like I think I always try to learn something or get better at something for every flight I do. Like even if it's just a sled ride, it's now I will land exactly there and improve just a little by little, like each flight, and then try to stay current, like flying, not having any big breaks in my flying, and keeping that. I think that also is part of it. And also I do quite a lot of SIV and acro and stuff, and I feel that really helps for keeping the skills current and staying comfortable in rough conditions.
Definitely. I think SIV and acro, or SIV is still spoken about, but acro is such an underrated part of our sport that people just forget that how amazing the art of acro is if you keep on practicing it, and the amount of confidence it gives you, be it cross country or be it launching or landing in sketchy conditions. Yeah, I agree on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see like Tim Alongi and Paltakats as an acro background, and they're now excellent flying cross country. So I think it's really a great background to have.
I wouldn't be surprised to see like acro new beginner courses as an introduction to paragliding, no? Because that seems to be the best way to go about it.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Just put a brand new pilot in an acro course and tell them that if you can handle this, then you can take anything that comes your way in this sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. But Erlen, tell me, I'm very curious, and I have been curious about this since last year, and I've been wanting to speak to you about it. Going out and chasing the world record, just like it needs a lot of preparation, man, and people build up teams, and a whole like there's a whole ecosystem that goes behind even thinking or attempting a world record. Before we dive deep into your attempt and how you had almost gotten it according to official levels, otherwise you, I think, unofficially you still have the numbers on your side. But tell me about your mindset. When did you start? How did you start thinking about this idea, and what was the visualization about all this while?
Like I started thinking about it a couple of years ago. Actually, it was some guys down in the Alps did like I think it was 13,000 or 11,000 meters for the record. And I thought,
vertical elevation we're talking about, right? For the listeners.
Yeah, vertical elevation during 24 hours. I thought like, yeah, I'm in okay shape now, and that should be possible. And then, the record got beat again and again by Andy Simmons and then Tanguy last year or the year before. I can't remember. But he did 17,500 vertical meters, and that's really a lot. And for me to break that, everything has to line up with the weather and your shape and everything. So it was, from my side, it was just really an attempt to try and beat it when
you went ahead and actually did the attempt, what was the week up to it looking like? Or did you just, wake up one day, saw the weather app saying that, hey, it looks like a good window, and go for it without any preparation or without any support system? Because I think you went in all by yourself.
Yeah, I did. And I was working, and I didn't have much training the last few weeks actually. And it was not really optimal preparation for it. But when I saw there's a window for over 24 hours where it's flyable up in that part of Norway where it's really steep mountains, I thought, yeah, I'll give it a try. And then I asked my boss if I could take the day off. And then, day after, I drove 8 hours after work up to the place I would do it, and then slept for a few hours, and then, just started the attempt in 7 a.m.
So you told your boss that you need a day off to attempt a world record. Is that how it looked like at the office?
Yeah, kind of. My work is really, they're supporting me, and they think it's really cool, this paragliding stuff I do. So, I'm happy.
I think anybody's work would like the support when they say that we want to attempt a world record in a day. Yeah. Like, how do you bring out that in your workplace? That's interesting.
Yeah.
No, but let's talk about the preparation. Let's talk about the things that started happening when you went in. Like 8 hours of driving, that itself is a lot of fatigue, man. What was going in your head, or were you just like so determined and so motivated that no matter what may come, you were like, I'm gonna make this happen? Or were you just going out and wanting to give it your best shot and not really chasing the record at all?
Like, I really wanted to try and break the record, and I was really motivated and ready for it. But also, I think I just took it with a relaxed mindset that it's a nice day out hiking in the mountains in nice weather, and then getting some beautiful flights in a beautiful area of Norway. So but in the start, I was really kind of pushing to stay on track, and I had a plan for how many vertical meters I had to do in an hour, and on each flight and stuff. And I was doing well in the start, actually. I was ahead of the schedule, but after a while, like every time I had to pack my glider and unpack it, and then just eat when I was down at the car, it took a bit longer each flight. And then after a while I was behind the schedule, and I saw that it's not gonna happen really. So, it was kind of a tough moment in the day, and I was starting to get tired, and it was really hot actually. I'm more of I like cold weather. It was really a tough moment in the middle of the day, but then I took, I think it was 20 minutes of break, so I could just try and refocus and start over and just have fresh new mindset. And but of course then I was way behind, and just had to go for the best possible, or get as many vertical meters as I could at that moment.
All right, let's talk about the numbers then, because I think by VFR rules or something, I'm forgetting the details about it, because you said that you had more. I mean, I saw your track log, which you posted on flightlog.org. So what was that you had higher than the official one? And like, what is the official record like? And what are the things that exist in official record that make it official, such as the rules and everything? If you can just tell our audiences a little bit about it.
Yeah, so there's not really an official or any official rules for this record. So it's just kind of a made up record, really. And it's no rules about wearing a helmet or having a rescue parachute or anything. So there are really no rules to it. But the record I went for was with a normal paragliding kit, and I didn't bring a rescue parachute, but I had normal paragliding equipment like a mini wing, and I wanted to do it within visual flight rules, like that you fly when it's enough light. And in that part of Norway where I did it, it's in the middle of summer. When I did it, it's possible to fly the 24 hours actually. But yeah, like Tanguy, he got some permits to fly when it's dark, so he could do it back in France. So if you count all the hours where it's enough light to fly, I have the record. But of course, ultimately, he has the highest number, and I think, for me, he is the champion of this.
That's so humble of you to say that, man. But I mean, this is not in FAI's record books, like the Aviation Authority. That they don't have any classification of this record. It's just a fun, as you said.
Yeah, no, it's just a fun record someone made up. So yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Because I was wondering, because I think FAI, they started like outdating the records which had a bit of an endurance factor to them, because fatigue came with endurance, and fatigue and aviation do not do well. I remember they had these like longest flight records which people were attempting, and like kind of sleeping in the middle of the flights and fainting and those kind of things. So that's why this record is similar to or this general genre of the paragliding, which is hike and fly, has a lot of fatigue in it. And if you have people pushing, then you're mixing fatigue and aviation, which is not really a good mix. So that's why it got me thinking that is there any recognition about this other than cross country posting about it, or is it just usually anybody can go out and try and do their thing and get the track log around it?
Yeah, no, I think it's very true about the fatigue thing, but there's not really any rules about it. So I guess anybody can go out and try it. But of course, yeah, it's high risk when you're really tired, both physically and mentally, and still has to fly and take safe.
I was actually reaching that point where I want to ask you, how did life look like midway? Because obviously, you've driven for 8 hours. That takes like shitloads of energy. Your legs are hanging down in the car, so your blood is not really, like your feet are swollen and whatever. Midway, when you started seeing that you were missing the point, how did your thought process look like, and what was the thing that kept you going for the next X amount of hours? Because obviously you could have just given it up there and then and said that, this is not what I came here for. So what's the point?
Yeah, I think like my mindset is usually I want to finish the things I start, and yeah, I'd like to just walk away from it. Was never really an option for me. I thought, this is what I do now, and I'll just go for another round when I'm down again. And it was never really an option to quit it. So yeah, but it was
Did you see any dangers coming your way when it was getting dark and you were alone there without any motivation, or running low on fuel, or like energy and stuff like that?
Like, I think I felt pretty safe and pretty clear in my head, actually, most of the time. But when it's in the middle of the night and there's no one else around, you really have to think about the decisions you make, and really think about what you do, and not take any stupid decisions. But I felt like the fueling part also went pretty good. I was able to get some nutrition almost the whole time. Like, it was just the last trip and my body was really tired of the gels and stuff. So actually, that went really good also. And I think that helps also for having a clear mind and keep pushing.
I'm going to talk about the body, like pushing the body. Did you had any niggles or any injuries that you just like managed? Because I'm trying to get into the mental side of the game here. How did you overcome things when you were out there all by yourself? Because obviously, as you said, Tanguy had a whole like machinery working with him. He had the permits sorted for him. Then he had people helping him, I don't know, pack or, give him the food or whatever it is, and cheering him on. And yet you were out there chasing this all by yourself in a corner of the world. So how was your mental thought process going through all of these things, especially when things started getting more difficult than they were supposed to be?
Yeah, I think I was like in the middle of the day, there was a lot of other people hiking up the mountains, and it was, just a nice atmosphere hiking there. And that really, really helps, I feel. And then when, in the night when I was the only one there, it was, I just had to kind of look at the beauty of the nature around and just try to look at all the positive stuff there, and just to enjoy the moment. I think even though it was hard, it was like there is always something positive in every moment that you can get some energy from, and keep your mental game at the good place.
It's wise words, man. There's always something beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
Indeed. When did the X-Alps thought started crossing your mind? Because I think after such an attempt, obviously, you're like, where can I escalate the hike and fly capabilities that I have to? So when did that thought process start happening, and how was the roadmap like when you started thinking about it?
Like I first heard about Red Bull X-Alps right after I finished my course. Yeah, when I heard about it, so what it was I was just done like, this is a crazy cool race, and it's like the pinnacle of both paragliding and adventure and mountaineering and stuff. It's just a so cool combination of all the things I love. So I think like the idea of X-Alps started when just after I finished my course, or about that time. But I thought like it's still a really long way, like to get on such a level in paragliding and to be in such a good shape. I never really thought about it as a real option. But like when we started with some hike and fly competitions, like the first hike and fly competition in Norway was in 2021 or something. And I joined it, and I felt like this was really fun, and I want to do more of this. In the coming years, there was more hike and fly competitions here in Norway, like only 1-day competitions. But still, it was so much fun and stuff. I just enjoyed doing it. And then like in 2023, I think I went to the Wonderbird hike and fly trophy in Meran, and got to test myself against Aron Borgati and Paul Gushelbauer, and that was the guys in it. And I didn't do very good there, but still I enjoyed the competition. For the next year I did so this is last year actually. I did Bonus to Fly in France in Annecy, and then I think at that moment I thought I want to try and go for Red Bull X-Alps 2025. So this is early 2024. I thought now I have to do some bigger competitions and stuff like this. So I did the Bonus to Fly, did okay there. Then it was the Dolomiti Superfly I did in the end of August, and I got in 9th position there, and I was really happy about it, and it was much better than I expected. And I felt like this was just like so much fun. It was not really too much fatigue or anything. I was happy with everything, how it went. So when I got that placement and like the feeling that this is just so much fun, that's the moment I decided to really apply for X-Alps. So, right after like competition, I applied for it.
So what I'm wondering is, like you said that you've been flying since 2018, and you started racing in these hike and fly comps since 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a fairly quick progress, especially considering the fact that you do not have the chance to chase airtime as all the other athletes in these races do. What was your, strongest point in here that you thought was pulling you through these competitions when airtime and the experience in general was not on your side?
Yeah, so I think like my physical form is quite good, so I could always do well on that part. But
and now you know why I asked you your body fat percentage in the beginning. But
like these competitions, you never win them on the ground. It's always about the flying that really So like I know I'm good on the ground, and in the air I have a lot to go on, but I have tried to, or I've been traveling to the Alps for like 4 summers now, I think, just trying to get to know the area and fly as much there as possible.
Right. Okay. So I want to roll back the clock to Bornes. No, not Bornes, the one which you did in 2023. How was your, how was your ability when it came to glider handling? Because I think one thing in Alps is that you need to really know how to fly a wing, because you will put yourself in situations which will require precision control of landings, or landings in the valley or uncomfortable places. Your glider handling back then, from 2023 to glider handling to 2025, how has that progression been, and what were the major differences in between these two timelines?
Yeah, back then I had recently moved on to a D-wing, and yeah, I was really new on flying a two-liner wing, and it was really quite new, and I was not using the potential of the wing. I was flying it really safely because I think I was a little bit nervous about wing and stuff. And yeah, since that I've tried just flying it a lot, doing SIV on it to get familiar with these kinds of wings. And I feel like the last couple of months, actually, I think I've really progressed. When I was traveled down to the Alps in the start of May now to prepare for X-Alps, and then I got to really fly a lot and try to fly efficiently and fast and fly in conditions I didn't fly in before. But yeah, more turbulence in the lee sides and stuff, and saw that it's possible to fly in these conditions quite safe, actually, or when you are really current and know what you do. So I think my flying has progressed quite a lot since that first competition.
Right. So basically airtime, just going out there and putting in the effort.
Yeah, I think so. It's all about airtime and getting the hours in, and
And a little bit of acro and SIVs, as you said, that also. Cool. Right. Let's talk about X-Alps, because obviously, this is a media-heavy race. We get to see a lot of sides of it, but mostly through the organizer's perspective. So from you as an athlete, how was the mindset when you were about to start the race? What did the preparation up to the race look like? Because, as a 500-hour pilot with just 5-6 years behind your belt, you're racing with like the elite of the paragliding world. So what was your strategy? What was your brain like, that how am I going to tackle this?
Yeah, I think it's probably like a naive mindset, but I think I was thinking like, it's how hard can it be? Like, just try to hang on to the top flyers, and I was like, maybe kind of delusional, but I thought like, this is gonna go well, and I never had a doubt, actually. It was like, just really optimistic how it would go. So that's my mindset when I went into it, actually. I think
that's kind of cool, man, that you had so much confidence in your ability, that you were expecting a good outcome, which eventually did. So let's talk about the race. So did you had a strategy? Did you had like some kind of plan that you wanted to stick to? How did it materialize in the first couple of days, once you went through the prologue and the first few turn points?
Yeah, I mean, I had planned pretty much like looking at possible routes and stuff, and where it's possible to hike and all of these things. But like, you never know which conditions you will get once you're in the race and stuff. So it only gets you so far. But of course, you need to have some kind of plan and stuff. And yeah, for the team, like, we had a pretty good understanding of how we should work together and what roles everybody had and stuff like that. And I think, like my team, I was really happy about it and how we worked together and worked for, following the plan and going further. But like, I had a plan for my flight on the first day. It was like, I'm going to fly here and here and here. And then suddenly you get like over 4,000 meter cloud base. And then everybody just goes straight down towards the turn point. And it's, you get so much better conditions that you thought you would get. And then it's really a nice surprise. And it's, for such a difficult crossing over the main chain of the Alps, it's really a confidence boost when you get such good conditions on the first day, actually.
I know. I mean, height is a huge comfort factor, comfort zone for us paragliders, because once you get high, I can glide almost endlessly to wherever I can look forward to. But when did you actually think that, okay, now this is a race, now it's just not a stroll in the park? Like, when did the pressure, if at all there was any pressure coming in?
Yeah, I mean, like on the prologue, it's so fast, it's just a really fast race. But this year we got really slow conditions, and I did well on the hike up, and then like when it was time to start flying and really racing, the conditions were so slow, and I actually bombed out or landed halfway down and had to hike back up. And then I had to kind of change the mindset to this is more of a, yeah, you have to be patient and yeah, fly safe than land, because I saw like Erlend Ukvitne and big other pilots like landed and yeah, waste so much time. So then I was just trying to be patient and get the goal. So that was, yeah, was a kind of a different, it was not really feeling as much as a race. But for the main race, it was like the hike up to Hankam was so fast, and we had to be fast to get before the get in air and fly before the cold front came and the overdevelopment. Yeah, once we were in the air, it was like gaggle flying. It was 2 gaggles and really racing conditions at once. And yeah, so now it's just time to push on and yeah, keep up with the other top pilots.
Is there a lot of speed bar pushing as well in these hike and fly races, or is it mostly, conserving your height and making sure that you don't land too low or choose something which makes you regret your decisions of pushing too hard?
Yeah, no, when it's good flying conditions, it's a lot of speed bar. But on the weaker days, it's more about preserving your height and not landing.
I'll tell you why I asked this question, because of course, prologue is one thing which is only kind of, it matters for the top 3 athletes, but later on the gaggle eventually split and there were like 2 or 3 groups, which usually is a part of the X-Alps game, as we are seeing in the later few years. Where do the gaps start opening? Because once you're in the gaggle, okay, you can almost try and keep up with the leaders, or at least you know where they're landing. It's not like a World Cup race that, 2 minutes coming into the goal, 2 minutes later will reduce your score. Are these races, the advantage that is being gained in these races, is it being gained on the ground or is it being gained in the air?
Yeah, I think it depends, but like this year, it was the hike up to the first takeoff really had a lot to say in where you ended up in the final results, I think, because the first gaggle really could fly fast and they got a little ahead of the second gaggle and the other guys. And yeah, they managed to keep this up actually for the whole race, I think, almost. Like, of course, Erlend Ukvitne, he was in the second gaggle, but he's so good at flying, so he caught up with the first gaggle, I think. And yeah, and then later we had in the first day, we had the Via Ferrata in the Dolomites. And that also, or in this year, it was really making a big difference for, it's some guys were able to do it, and then the thunderstorms rolled in and the Via Ferrata got closed, and then everybody who didn't do it had to wait at the hut. Then it was closed for the rest of the day. Yeah, so that really made the pilots who had done it, they could run, get a more of a lead, and the other guys had to wait, and then the guys from behind caught up, and everybody was kind of in that position except from the guys who had done it. So, and further on, it was like, it was kind of a lead gaggle, and then the group that I was in, and it kind of stayed like that for the rest of the race almost, I think.
Yeah, and that is what kind of gets me thinking, that when it kind of stays, it's, once we see the groups being formed, and then we see that people find it easier to stick to those groups because they don't increase or reduce in numbers that often as they do while forming of the groups. So is it just like chances that, some other athletes were a little bit faster in some sections of the ground or some section of the air that they got away? Or are we looking at the field forming bigger and bigger gaggles and groups in time to come? Like how do you see this race progressing towards in time to come?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. It's hard to tell because I feel like the sport is getting more and more professional, kind of. So everybody is training more for it, and it's both the physical part and the flying part. And I feel like the playing field is much more level than before. Like you see when, we finally get another winner than Tegel, I think it tells about that. It's really, like the pilots are getting better at everything now, I think.
No, makes sense.
Yeah.
There are a lot of pilots who do bail out and, drop in between the race. Did you have any key strategy to making it to the finish, or is it just your physical form that gave you an edge over the other ones who were bailing out earlier?
Yeah, like my number one priority in the competition was to stay safe and healthy. So I really focused on, taking safe decisions and not doing anything stupid. Like we saw some videos of people flying in really shitty turn conditions, and me and Patrick Collard walked down 1,100 meters and had to walk a lot further just because we didn't want to fly in these turn conditions. Yeah, I think, just to stay safe gets you a long way on the way.
I saw your infographic which said you hiked 81 kilometers, like the longest distance by any athlete in Red Bull X-Alps. Was that in a day or was that cumulative?
Yeah, that was in a day, but I think there's some calculation errors in their or in their tracking or something, because I only got 73 kilometers on my clock, so there's a difference there. It was in a day, and it was a day where actually we fly every day. We got some distance flight, but on this day it was a short flight and then a cold front hit, and then it was walking the rest of the day or running. Yeah, but luckily we didn't get any like days just filled with rain or too much wind and stuff. So it was really not too much on the ground actually, which was quite nice.
I don't know, man. 73 kilometers on ground seems a lot. Like, what was your playlist like during those kilometers? Like, what made you do 73 kilometers with a backpack for like at least I think 5 to 8 kilograms, depending on whatever your setup was? Like, how does a human brain work when you have a task like that in front of you?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to listen to music, but I broke my phone the day earlier, so I was borrowing my supporter's phone and I didn't have any music on it. So it was just me and my thoughts. Yeah, it was just enjoying the views, I think, running along and just enjoying the moment. And also I hiked a little bit with Jared from the United States, and like talking with other athletes when you meet them, it's just a really nice to catch up with them and hear about their last days. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I was curious with respect to the body, like, do you get any injuries? Do you get any, like, because a lot of people struggle with blisters, a lot of people have like muscle pains and, inflammations and all of that. So how did you deal with physical aspect of this challenge when you're putting in such a Herculean effort in one single day?
Yeah, I'm quite lucky. I never get blisters. I can really feel it. I felt sore in my legs after that day, but it's not so strange maybe. But also I think like before the competition, I tried to really get a lot of kilometers in my legs just to be ready for these days, because they're gonna come, and you kind of have to be ready for it. So getting enough kilometers on the tarmac I think it's smart to be ready for this.
Okay, now you're making it sound super simple, so I'm going to ask you the toughest question. What was the toughest moment of the race that you had that you can share with our audience?
I think, I bombed out a couple of times. And I think when we were on the way back from Les de Alpes towards Italy or to Ascona, Locarno, all the other guys were flying good. I bombed out in the middle of the day when it's at the best flying conditions, and that was really hard. And just had to sit down for 10 minutes and just collect my mind and just think you just have to get back up to takeoff to get that mindset again. And when I got back up and on a takeoff, it's just you think I'll just go fly again and try to do as good as possible now.
No frustrating thoughts that linger on. Like, you have this self-defense mechanism that kind of allows you to block away that negativity and just focus on the next part. And I think that's the key here, right?
Yeah, I think that's the key. Or at least for me, it's don't linger with it. Just keep going and get back up and do as good as you can.
Wow, golden words said so simply.
Yeah.
Erlend, a lot of people will be wishing to accomplish something that you have. What is your advice to people wanting to walk in your footsteps?
Yeah, that's a hard question, but I think for me, like my whole flying journey has been just keep the joy of flying, just keep that spark up. Don't force it and make it work. Just enjoy the hike and flies you do, and just find the joy in the flying every time, and enjoy the moments. I think that's that's kind of my main thing that has got me here.
You seem to be a man of few words, but those words are filled with wisdom.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and
All
also of
right
course
then.
like do SIV and get flying hours and stuff. That's also important. That's I think people know that.
I think a lot of us know what we want to do, but somehow we develop this facade of confidence as well at a lot of times where we're like, I don't want to think about what I have to do. I just want to think about what I feel like doing. I mean, this is upgrading gliders or whatever. Like, I don't, because there is an inner voice which tells you that, yes, you should do 3 SIVs before upgrading. You should know how to full stall this one without shitting your pants before upgrading. But it's like, no, I don't want to think about it. I want to think about how cool the next wing will be. Like, if you can manage that little bridge where you don't switch over to the thoughts which are giving you pseudo satisfaction, but rather stay with the ones which are giving you the reality check, I think that will accelerate your progression in a much faster manner. Like you have, 500 hours and you are 6 years of flying and you have pushed the limits, not just in X-Alps, you have pushed the limits multiple times, but every time in a safe way. And yeah, I hope it stays that way, man. I think it takes a lot to have that kind of courage and develop a mindset around that courage, which got you where you are right now.
Yeah, I agree.
What's coming next, Erlend? Because so far, the way you have come, it's a very inspiring journey. So for the people who follow you out there, what can they expect from Team Erlend in time to come?
Yeah, I don't really have any big plans for the next couple of months. I kind of just want to do what I want, like maybe some acro and some hike and fly in some really nice places and stuff. And yeah, just take it easy, I think, and relax a bit after this X-Alps journey. And maybe I'll do I really enjoy like mountaineering or alpine stuff combined with flying. So yeah.
Do you have a strategy to have a mindset? Like, are you into meditation or mindfulness or any of those sorts of things?
No, not really, actually.
Okay, no, you sound super chill, so that's why I was like just curious. Or maybe it's just the English because Norwegians are more comfortable speaking Norwegian and more expressive in that as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Cool, man. This has been quite a insightful talk that we, I think we scheduled this much before X-Alps because your Herculean world record attempt was inspiring enough for me to, tell your story out to the audiences. But I'm so glad that we waited until later on X-Alps because now there's more data points to collect and talk.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your inspiration, and keep rocking, I would say. And yeah, let's have you back whenever you bring out this awesomeness to the world in another manner in time to come.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It was great talking to you.